here we are. It's our second morning here at the Barb and Gabby Campout. Everybody arrived yesterday. We had some pretty awesome experiences around camp last night. So we're gonna share that with you now. So who would like to go first? All right, Anita, go ahead.
Last night, well, first me and Kevin had a little night sit thing right outside my tent, which is way that direction.
Way back in the woods?
Way back in the woods, yeah. And didn't really hear nothing or anything, so then Kevin went to his tent, went to bed, and I was still sort of awake, but I laid in my tent, and I purposely left just the screen part so I could, I don't know if I thought somebody was going to peek in or something, but whatever. And so I'm laying there, and I'm not hearing a lot at first, and then it was probably, I'm thinking 2:30ish, 3:30, somewhere around there, and I started hearing voices, people talking. And my first thought was like, are Kevin and Sandy and Mitch up talking at, whatever, 2:30, 3 in the morning? And no. And then as I listened, it was a language it wasn't English. It wasn't English, and they were talking faster than we would talk.
How many were
Three.
voices? Three?
There was three.
Okay.
Just one had kind of a low voice. One almost sounded like a female. And then the other one wasn't as low as the first one, but kind of low. And I don't have a idea what they're saying, but it was like 20, 25 minutes of just da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
How far away from you was it?
It was where my tent sits. It was on, I don't know how far the river is, but they weren't on the other side. They were on this side. So I actually, sometime today, want to go see how far that goes on that side. But they were just right off that way. I was just like, oh, this is really cool.
Right on. Congratulations.
And you could hear a little bit of, it wasn't big stick break, but you could tell they were moving a little bit,
Right on. Very cool. Okay, anything else?
That's about it for last night, yeah.
Okay. Who's next?
Me.
You? Okay, what do you got, Striker?
Okay, so about over there, I was wood knocking, and behind the trailer, I heard a little wood knock.
Somebody answered you?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
Right on. Good job, little man.
And then you have something with your gifting?
Oh yeah, the gifting.
Stay near Bart.
You gotta stay here, buddy. You
Hey,
can't
Striker.
Stay with Bart.
You gotta stay here, pal. Oh, right there.
Oh, right over there?
Yeah,
Okay, I see the
my
rocks.
sneakers there, and they took some stickers, and then I put like the teeter tot thing, I don't know what it is, and they took one of those.
All right, cool. Thank you, Striker. Okay, so who's next?
I'll go.
You want to go?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I didn't do any night sits. I was really tired last night. My knee was sore. And I went to bed pretty early, and I didn't sleep very soundly. Before we went to sleep, we asked the forest people to not scare my sister, and I asked them to help my knee feel better. And then I went to sleep. And a couple things happened in the night, and we talked about it in the morning. There were 2 times where the RV started to vibrate. And I said, just heal my knee. Then about 20 minutes later, it vibrated again. But I didn't get touched. But it was kind of a cool, just like, I thought, was it an earthquake? Or the whole thing was just vibrating just for a short period of time twice. The other thing that I thought was unusual about last night is I was hearing crows flying over the RV, and they were talking to each other. And crows do not do that call and response in the middle of the night. They roost. So that was neat.
All right.
But they sounded like crows, really like, not 600-pound crows. It really sounded like crows. It was really odd.
Well, did I hear you say this morning that your knee feels better?
It does, but it
All
could
right.
be the CBD too. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Who's next here? Want to share?
Yeah, I can relate to Anita's story because I wasn't sleeping well last night, and I heard talking, but I couldn't make out what they were saying, and it sounded like a man and a feminine voice, and then I could barely hear the third one. So wow. I validate that. That was really exciting. And before that, though, I was woken by a real heavy boom footstep just outside my tent. It wasn't far. And I'm down by the river, which is making a huge sound. So to hear that, it was pretty
That'd be close,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was very exciting.
Wow.
So that was my experience. I can't think of anything else. And then I woke up and my neighbor, where are you? Okay, yeah, Dave. he said he saw eye shine in the areas behind our tents, and that was really a validation too.
All right, cool. So tell us about it, David.
Yeah.
Wow. It was an exciting night. So our guests from another country and we stayed up at the fire. I was freezing. I didn't want to go anywhere. I just stayed by the fire the whole night. So we were up until close to 3 o'clock in the morning again. And a couple of weird things happened. One before that, I had to go to the restroom, went down to the restroom, and as I was walking, getting close to the restroom, this is before Barb went back. So what was that, about midnight?
Yeah, it
or
was
so?
just after midnight.
So as I was going to the restroom, I heard crashing across the road and like down the bank, and it sounded loud. I mean, whatever it was sounded big. And I thought, well, that was comforting. I'm going to the restroom, and there's something really big right there. But I talked to the forest and comforted them, assured them that nothing was going to happen. Came back up as I was coming back. I wanted to tell you about it because it's between the restroom and your tent. And so I wanted you to be aware that there was possibly someone big over there. And as I got up to the car, I told you, and there was someone, I don't know, there was someone standing near me who said, am I seeing red eyes? Was that you?
Oh, that was, right here.
yeah, right
that
here.
was right there.
Okay, thank you. I thought I was like, gee, am I imagining that?
Yeah, no.
So Nita was looking at eyes, and there was a set of red eyes, and probably about 10 feet off the ground or so.
Yeah, it was
and
pretty.
it wasn't that far into the
'Cause
woods.
I was asking, is somebody, because I don't know that down there, and I'm like, is that somebody's tent back there? Is there something?
Well, I'm looking at today where we saw the eyes versus where Barb's tent is, and I thought it might have been her car, but the eyes were like here, and her car and
Way over there,
way
yeah.
over here. So it wasn't the
Forgot
same
about that
direction. So I saw that, and that seemed to be like right off the path, probably maybe about 20, 30 feet into the woods here, not very far at all, and because we both saw them, and then it blinked once, and then it was gone.
Wow.
So that was that activity. Yvonne and I were, is that okay? Say your name. So Yvonne and I were sitting at the fire. We were both on this side facing the woods. There was a lot of activity back here. Again, like the night before, a lot of brush, moving through the brush. And I saw white eyes, like sets of white eyes up on the road, like moving down along the road, and also up like through the trees, so on the side of the hill.
Wow.
So I saw a couple sets of white eyes there. And when I took Yvonne to the bathroom. I stayed back, and she was doing her thing. And next to me, flanking me up into the side there, I could hear movement back behind the brush, and saw another pair of white eyes up above, like up on the road, looking down. So there was a lot of activity here with a lot of white eyes. And I only saw the red eyes that one time. All the other eyes after that was white. We were here, and at exactly 2:19, because Yvonne said, "Get your clock. Look at the time." We heard this really loud beep. It sounded electronic, and Courtney has an alarm, and it went off this morning. It sounded a lot like that, but you could hear hers was in the RV, and it wasn't. It was like right over us. It was right, and it was loud, and it was like this beep, and just really short. And she felt vibration coming up from the ground, going up her body. I didn't feel that, but it felt like it sounded like it was like right over my head. That's how close it felt. And we're like, what the heck is that? And there was nothing after, nothing before, nothing after, just that single beep, that single tone. And I have ringing in the ears. I have tinnitus, and I've had it for about 7 years. My ringing in my ears stopped, like instantly.
Wow.
After that. And Yvonne, who had been fearful the night before, she said her fear just went away, just like that.
Wow.
So I don't know if that was some sort of healing activity. I don't know if they were mimicking a sound that they heard, because it didn't. I had that experience in the Ho where I heard walkie-talkie, and no one was out with walkie-talkies. So I know that they could mimic electronic sounds.
Yeah.
So it might have been something like that again. But we both had that activity, and we both, it was like, what was that? And then it was nothing.
Wow.
And then shortly after that, I was really getting tired. So I want to go. I'm heading back down and asked her if she's okay, and she's okay. So she went to her tent, and I went down, and just walking along, I didn't see it. It was, man, is it dark here? It's like the darkest I've ever experienced in my life, and I didn't see any eye shine over here on that side. But when I got down to the road going down to the flat down below, I turned off my headset. I was just pointing down at the ground all the way to that point, and I saw 4 sets of eyes, all on the bank. One near Pat and Penny's tent, to the right of that, up on the hill, like on the bank on the other side of the bank here, and then 3 other sets of eyes behind her tent.
Wow.
But it wasn't like right behind her tent. Her light was on. She had like a little candlelight on. It was back further against the flank here of the ridge. Like 1, 2, 3, and then another one over here closer.
Wow.
And I confess, I did not look towards my tent because I didn't want to know.
Okay.
About what
Wow.
time was that, David?
That was about 3 o'clock. What, 2:30? What Yvonne, was it about 2:30 when we finally? So I guess about 2:45, somewhere around there.
When you came back from the toilet, I had seen the light over there, like it lit up over there, and I said, "What time is it?" Because if they saw a light, I want you to say, "Well,
Oh,
at
that's
2:19, I saw a light over there, just lit up."
Yeah.
Didn't you
And
say like the whole sky did a
It was
flash?
like a camera flash or lightning without thunder. And I said, "Did you see that?" But he was just coming round the bend. And I said, "It couldn't be your torch reflecting against the mirror of a car, but it was brighter than that." And I said, "What time is it? You got a watch on?" And he went, 2:19. And we both sat down, and then it was ping! And I went, "What the bleep was that?" So you don't need to edit, Barb. I didn't actually say bleep.
Okay.
But we both looked at each other, and I went, "I just can't explain that. What was that?" But I thought something had hit the ground, because to me the ground just went and shook right through me.
Wow.
And then a couple of minutes later, my ear popped. You know, like when you're on an aeroplane and your ear needs it popped. But he had been saying to me, "If you're really scared, I'll come up and sleep. I'll share the tent with you." Because I had been scared. This is the first time I've been since my sighting, the last time I was here. And I have been scared even to go to the toilet. And at 2:30, I said to him, "No, I'm fine, I'll go to bed. You're okay, go."
You
And
weren't
then
afraid.
it just occurred to me I wasn't scared anymore.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations. Who's next?
I am.
Okay, we got Tom, who prefers to stay off camera, so we're just going to listen.
Yeah, so first thing, I stayed up with these guys till about 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were at the camp here, did some walks and all that kind of thing. Walked down the dark path there, got down by your tent, went over to my tent, opened it up, all that kind of stuff. Got in bed, and about 10 after 2, because I had my watch, I was kind of expecting something to happen, because I don't know why. But I wasn't in the mood. I was tired. I even talked to the forest for a second and said, "Why don't you guys give me a break, man? I'm tired. I'd rather just see you in the morning." So I'm laying there, and I'm just getting ready. I rolled over to go to bed, and all of a sudden there's this big giant crack of a tree limb or something. And then about maybe 10 seconds later, there's a huge thump, like somebody threw a rock or something hit. Then there was this weird vibration that went from like the area of impact or something all the way underneath the tent. And then something brushed by the tent real quickly, like, and then some rough rustling was going on by the table, and that was about it. And I was so tired that I just said, "Well, you guys do what you want. I'm tired. I'm going to bed." So, but that was pretty bizarre.
Now, didn't you find something when you got up this morning?
Yeah, I had a full unopened bottle of tea, and the lid was cracked, and there was, somebody had taken a big swallow out of it.
Squad trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Oh, you had something, didn't you?
You gotta talk loud.
So my sleeping bag fell last night on her face, and then she handed it back up to me, and then as soon as she had handed it back up and went back to sleep, I started vibrating,
Oh yeah.
and I didn't know what it was. It kind of scared me.
Oh yeah. You okay today?
Mhm.
All right. Cool.
Got it.
How did it feel? Did
It was odd. I just didn't know what it was. I thought maybe an earthquake, but none of them had woken up.
we felt like it was an earthquake before too. All right, cool. Thank you for sharing.
Good job. Good
Yeah.
job. Woohoo.
Okay, anybody else?
So I had last year at the camp in June, I had an apple, my gifting site that's been on a previous video from last year that I've had photos, and it had a big bite out of it, a palpable bite of a large jawline, and then put back exactly where I put it on this rock that was very precarious. If you just touched it, it would have rolled down this slant of this rock. So my gifting site over here behind my tent, last night I came back to it, and it was during the day it happened, and the apple I put out had been bitten into, but it rolled down on top of this stump. It rolled down in the moss facing downward. So if it was rodents or slugs, I don't see how they could have got to it, because it was facing down, really kind of wedged down in this little moss area.
You showed me a little video clip you made of it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I have a video clip of that. I don't know. My heart just immediately felt like confirmation, because they have such a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Of like, we remember you, so we're going to do the apple thing with you again. and that's going to be the only action you get on this trip, is just the apple. No. I didn't hear anything previous night. It was like rock and roll. I didn't hear anything last night. So anyway.
Okay.
No, that's about it. Yeah.
That's
great.
it. All right.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.
Is it?
Okay. Anybody else? No? All right. Well, I guess that wraps up our second meeting for our May Campout. And it's been awesome so far. I can hardly wait to see what's going to happen next. Woohoo!